Scripps News getting the attention of one lawmaker after a series of stories investigating drownings at short-term rental homes. Senior national investigative correspondent Lori Jane Gliha and her team have documented dozens of deaths of children, backyard pools during vacation. And she's live now with a look at a new legislative push in a state where short-term rental homes are very popular with tourists. Lori Jane, what have you found out?
Hi, Holly. Well, we're talking about the state of Florida, a state with a lot of backyard pools and lots of vacation homes. Now, a Florida lawmaker is crediting our Scripps News reporting for a bill he says he plans to propose.
2 months before she died, Laylani Carpio was a playful 2-year-old, busy with pretend phone calls.
I listen to these videos sometimes a lot. Sometimes you get scared that you're gonna forget their voice. So that's what I do to cope.
Laylani's mother, Laylani Carpio, had been saving up for the family's first vacation in July 2022, a trip from Massachusetts to Florida. She booked a short-term rental home.
How did you pick the house that you were going to stay in?
So I picked the house based on the location. You know, it wasn't that far to Disney. I'll say maybe about 20, 25 minutes, maybe. It was pretty close. I did like it as well because of the pool.
The pool is where Laylani drowned.
We need an ambulance here right away.
She got past the mesh fence unnoticed after eating dinner in the backyard. And she wasn't breathing when her family found her.
Sometimes when people see this, they're like, oh, you weren't watching your kid, you know? But I definitely was watching my kid. And, you know, it was something that I couldn't prevent as a mom, you know?
Yeah? How old are you?
Our investigation found Laylani is one of at least 49 children who suffered a fatal or non-fatal drowning at short-term rental homes in Florida since 2021. In police records and court filings, we found some families simply didn't hear or see the child slip out of sight.
When was the last time someone saw her?
I don't even know. I really don't know.
Others blamed a lack of safety equipment or a faulty or missing fence. Since many of those cases happened in or near the vacation hotspot, Orlando, we decided to go there to find out what's going on.
911, what's the address of the emergency?
And the baby found the pool.
Okay, I'm going to tell you how to give mouth to mouth, okay?
Florida is vacation home central, and there are a lot of pools here. Every single one of these dark, screened-in areas is covering a pool.
In Florida, the law requires residential pools to have at least one of 5 safety features to pass an inspection. Those include either a door alarm, a pool cover, a water alarm, self-latching doors, or a pool fence. But the law only applies to pools built after the law took effect 25 years ago, in October 2000.
Well, we're going to have to get all these stakeholders together.
Florida State Senator Guillermo Smith is trying to change that. He met us at a local community pool.
Because of the fact that we have so many swimming pools and so many child drownings that were preventable, we also have a responsibility to be leading on drowning prevention and on swim safety.
Senator Smith, you are recognized to explain the bill.
I bring you this bill today to help address the epidemic of child drownings.
Last session, the senator sponsored a bill to update the state's pool safety law to bring all newly sold homes in line with specific standards, no matter when the pool was built.
And we know that this will save lives.
But it failed. Smith says he plans to keep pushing and is looking to introduce a new proposal focusing on safety requirements specifically for short-term rental homes. Inspired, he says, by our Scripps News investigation.
If they're going to be opening their houses up for a rental to make a profit, to actually run a business, then they need to follow a stricter standards than our residential swimming pools are following right now.
At what point did you decide this is going to be a priority for you?
Well, after we saw some of your investigative reporting on how these short-term rentals are now becoming a place where these child drownings are happening.
While Senator Smith fights for a new law, Others say short-term rental companies have the power to make safety changes right now, regardless of legislation. Personal injury attorney Michael Haggard.
They should be treated just like other commercial enterprises that have pools.
Haggard has handled many drowning-related lawsuits over the years.
I'm sick and tired of representing families who've lost a child.
He says short-term rental companies should take more responsibility by requiring fences and rescue equipment, similar to commercial hotels.
Isn't that responsibility on the homeowner rather than Airbnb and other platforms like it?
I agree the host has obligations, but Airbnb does too. They're partners in this.
What do you say to people, though? I'm sure you get this, though, like, this guy's just suing a bunch of people, and they took the risk. If you don't know how to swim, why are you getting a house with a pool, and why are you getting in the pool? What do you say to those people?
Look, we get those people sometimes. These safety measures in drowning have been tried and tested for 50 years. We know how to do better. It's just whether the short-term rental companies want to keep skirting by without doing it, or do they want to be considered more and be good neighbors like apartments are, like hotels are?
A Scripps News analysis of every child death report or summary published by Florida's Child Abuse Death Review Committee found 11 child drowning deaths at Florida hotel pools since 2021, compared to 43 at short-term rental homes. We asked short-term rental platforms about their role in preventing drownings. Vrbo declined to comment, but we know Vrbo's standards say hosts must ensure their properties meet all relevant building codes and safety requirements. Airbnb declined an on-camera interview, claimed drownings at short-term rentals are rare, and a spokesperson pointed us to a water safety campaign the company recently launched, aimed at helping guests and hosts communicate about water safety during the booking process.
I miss her all the time. Her hugs, her voice. Yeah, her voice, her looking for me every day, stuff like that. Sad.
Laylani Carpio holds on to hope that talking about the loss of her daughter Laylani will raise awareness and bring change.
And Laylani's death was ruled an accidental drowning. Her family is now suing over her death, claiming the fence at the pool was defective, which the vacation rental host denied in court filings. The host claimed instead that Laylani was not adequately supervised. Airbnb, meanwhile, filed a motion to compel arbitration, or alternatively, a motion to dismiss, and argued the claims of wrongdoing were insufficient. The company claimed there is no factual support to suggest that Airbnb had a duty to inspect and investigate the house or warn Laylani's family of certain risks. Holly.
Wow. Lori Jane, you mentioned this drowning happened even though there was a pool fence at that vacation rental home. Did you find that in other cases you looked at?
Yeah, we did review several other cases in Florida where children drowned at a home where a mesh pool fence was left open or partially taken down. This is why drowning prevention advocates tell us that the ideal pool fence is one with a self-closing, self-latching gate, which is much more difficult to be left open. Holly.
You analyzed almost 5 years of drowning reports from the state of Florida alone. So what else did you learn from going through this mass amount of reports?
Well, we learned most drownings involving children in Florida are happening at residential pools based on state data. Usually it's the child's own home, but there also have been drownings at relatives' homes or acquaintances or friends' homes. Sometimes kids even wander into a neighbor's yard and fall into their pool. And that data also shows that kids drown most often when they weren't already out there swimming. They slipped into the pool unnoticed. And this is why experts talk about how important those fences and alarms and barriers are. And obviously supervision is key when living at, visiting, or vacationing at a home with a pool. Holly.
Scripps News senior national investigative correspondent Lori Jane Gliha live for us. Terrific reporting. Thank you for bringing that to us.